Welcome back to the news at 10. We have a breaking story just getting to our desk right now. The Air Force plane has crashed in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. According to the Director of Defense Information, Colonel Rabi Abubakar, who confirmed this to Channels Television just moments ago, he says that details of the accident are still sketchy, but we understand that indeed just a while ago, an Air Force plane has indeed crashed in Yola in Adamawa state. We have more details as soon as we get them. Did you know that with early detection and adequate diagnosis and treatment, there is a good chance that breast cancer can be cured? According to the World Health Organization, currently there is not sufficient knowledge on the cause of breast cancer. However, due to increased urbanization and adoption of Western lifestyle, there has been steady increase of the disease in the last years. Our correspondent, Yomi Otaigbe, reports.
Hundreds of people at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos trying to form a pink ribbon, the symbol of breast cancer awareness. Every year in the month of October, countries across the world use different means to draw attention and support for awareness, early detection, treatment, as well as palliative care of this disease that records about 1.38 million new cases and over 450,000 deaths each year worldwide.
27,000 women are diagnosed with cancer every year in Nigeria, and over 13,000 die of cancer. It is unacceptable. 99% of cancer cases of breast cancer occur in women, increasing age, a family history of cancer, having a first child after age 30 years, using oral contraceptives for greater than 10 years. But I would like to point out that most of our cancer patients don't have these risk factors in Nigeria. And I must stress the need for research, quality research backed by international and local funding. Commonest symptom is a breast lump, which is usually painless. It doesn't give the woman cause for concern. It's not painful. But every lump is guilty, or every lump is suspicious until proven otherwise. Bloody nipple discharge, a recent change in breast size, a lump in the armpit, a lump above the collarbone.
Although quite a number of women have been lost to the disease, there have been a few survivors. One of them is Mrs. Oluwakemi Oyegbile.
So I had my baby 2003, and as I was breastfeeding, I felt this lump, and it's a painful lump. But like I told people then that this is what I was feeling. They said I shouldn't bother myself. But like the pain persisted, so I had to go to the hospital. So at the end of the day, the lump was removed in 2004. I took it to the hospital, the histology lab. The results came back and it was confirmed that it is cancerous. And I started my treatment from there.
Okay, so what made the difference for you in this survivor story?
I would say coming out early because like I did not delay. Until I found out that this is what I had. I started the treatment.
Veronica Okafor, another breast cancer survivor, did come out early enough after discovering a lump in her breast. But the ill advice she got from some so-called healthcare practitioners almost cost her her life.
When I discovered it, the first person I called was her family matron, which she asked me to come over to her place. I went to her place, and after examining me, she said it's nothing to worry about. She called it Enemilibo. She said it's a boil in the breast. She has treated a lady of it with injection and tablets, and she was fine. So I started the treatment with her. For like a year, there was no difference. So when I told her, let me go to Lutz, she discouraged me. She told me no, that my case is not yet Lutz case. So I went to another hospital, which that one also did his own. And when the results came out, he said he's going to advise me to take a chemical. But I asked him, what are the side effects? My fiancé asked him, what are the side effects of the chemical? you asked me to take? He said he doesn't know. So my fiancé said no, that if a doctor will not say this is the side effect of a chemical, that means he's no doctor. So that was when I decided to go to Lot and do whatever I have to do. And I thank God I'm done with my chemo. I did the surgery 2010. Last month was September 2nd was 5 years.
Not many people have been as lucky as Veronica and Mrs. Oyegbile, given the high incidence and destructive nature of breast cancer. Early detection and treatment of the disease should be of high priority.
The stage at which they present has always been stage 3 and stage 4. It was so 3 decades ago, it's still so now. So what can we do? How can we refine our plans, coordinate our resources better to change presentation from 3 to 4? We need to meet the women, make them understand what's happening. We need more friendly centers. We need more women not seeing cancer from, I don't know. We need to focus on cancer screening.
Government still need to subsidize the cost of treatment. We still have a long way to go talking about accessibility in terms of finance, in terms of facility.
While everyone looks forward to better cancer control in Nigeria, regular self-breast examination can also play an important role.
And to further look at breast cancer and its control, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by consultant and medical oncologist with St. Nicholas Hospital, Dr. Matthew Owaneri. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about this cancer particularly. Anytime it's mentioned, it's like a death sentence already to anyone. How far has awareness and adequate diagnosis, what's the level in Nigeria today?
There's a lot of ignorance about breast cancer in Nigeria, and as Dr. Salako said on your little blurb there, a lot of patients present very late at advanced stages, stage 3 and 4. Stage 1 and 2 breast cancers are quite curable. But as I told you before the program, on Tuesday was the first time over the past year since I came back from the US that I saw a stage 1 breast cancer. Most of my cases have been stage 3 and 4. And stage 4 breast cancer, excuse me, is incurable. So we don't want them to be at stage 4, but there's a lot of ignorance, like the other woman who mentioned she had a lump and a healthcare professional was discouraging her from getting properly checked out. That should not be the case.
Is this prevalent amongst the ages, adolescents from 15, say for example, to 30? What age brackets are more susceptible to this disease?
That's a wonderful question. Breast cancer actually is a disease of old age. As women get older, they're more likely to get breast cancers. However, once a young woman has breasts, we recommend she does what we call a breast self-examination, so she understands her body, so she knows when she sees an abnormality, and she can go to see a healthcare professional to help with making sure that that is checked out. Unfortunately, the lady saw the wrong person. And then from that on, if she sees a lump, it can be removed and can be taken to the laboratory. And if it's a cancerous lump, it can be treated. So the age range that we recommend for mammograms are from age 40 and above. However, breast self-examination should start from age 20 and above. And that is, a woman can do that every month around her period.
What's the gestation period in the first phase of the cancer infection?
It's not an infection, sorry. It's cancer.
It's a disease.
It's a disease. It's a situation where a cancer is a situation where cells are growing abnormally. They do not follow the normal controls of the body. So the cells grow uncontrollably. Cancer is uncontrolled cell growth. Usually we feel that most cancers are in the body from 2 to 5 years, even before you discover it. It starts as a microscopic disease and it gets bigger and bigger. So if you find it early, small amount of cancer, you can take it out and the person will be cured. But if you have a huge amount of cancer cells, then it would have spread to all over the body, the bones, the lungs, and then we cannot cure it.
Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Matthew Waneri, for giving us a better insight into what cancer is and what it portends to the society. Many thanks indeed for coming on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Post managers of Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, Edo Territory, Adebola Ayeni, says that NIPOST is fully equipped to meet the modern-day challenges of courier services. Mrs. Ayeni, who was speaking to Channels Television at the NIPOST area office in Benin City, the Edo State capital, adds that NIPOST has improved on its services delivery and even has met the requirements to host the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAM examination and the UTME. World Post Day is celebrated each year on the 9th of October, the anniversary of the establishment of the Universal Postal Union in 1974 in the Swiss capital, Bern.
This is the Nigeria Postal Service NIPOST main office along Airport Road in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Bright colors around the premises as the staff join counterparts the world over to celebrate the World Post Day. These customers gave their assessment of the post office today.
Number one, that time, at the period of Ames Transport, which were responsible for their contracts in carrying letters to various capital cities throughout the country as at that time. But today, I think, today is now a post office with a difference. And it is everywhere, emails, and what have you. So why do I come to waste my time buying stamps and for letters that will never be delivered? So we depend more on the internet now than postal services.
Even with the presence of the internet, NIPOST continues to be in demand, as evident in the patronage it gets. The Edo Territory Manager of NIPOST, Adebola Ayeni, however, lists some challenges.
The first thing is that we have motorcycles given to our postmen to go out, and then that addressing system must be squarely faced once and for all. It has been a prolonged thing that the government have been shifting it from year in, year out. It has not yet been finalized, and once ministers are being changed, it affects us. If we are able to get proper street numbering and naming, it will really help us to deliver better. And then, of course, what to use, which is the motorcycle, to go out and do the deliveries.
As the World Post Day is celebrated, Nigerians expect NIPOST will expand its frontiers to meet the needs of the modern-day society.
Dr. Suraj Adekunle now joins us. He is of the School of Communication, Lagos State University. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10.
Thank you so much.
What, in your view, is the biggest challenge the postal services is facing today world over?
Well, the biggest challenges they are facing today world over is the advances of ICTs, information and communication technology. Now, we have come to a point where nobody wants to wait for too long before you receive a kind of response to your letter. And the social medias is in form of dialogue, and the speed to resolve information needs, to get information needs, the immediacy, the timeliness, and the interactiveness of social media puts ICT, social media, ahead of postal services. Because postal services in those days, you have to queue up, you have to send a letter, then you wait for...
Well,
you don't have to wait for that. The economy has changed. The world has changed. ICT has changed the environment.
So are
you
you
want
saying,
to make business decisions very fast, and they're not going to wait for too long for that.
Are you saying that the postal services is facing extinction?
Well, I would not say that. Because from history, from research, no new technology has actually completely extinct new technology. The advent of television does not remove the radio. The advent of internet has not even put out television. But the fact is that ICT is a revolutionary tool that changes the way things are done. So Actually, NIPOS has been threatening, or let me say, postal services have been threatening. But the truth about it is that they need to now innovate and allow digital inclusion, what I call digital revolution, to come in. And by doing that, they become more relevant. Just like cinema houses. Cinema houses were at the end of being extinct. But by absorbing ICT, they become more relevant. So the same thing with postal services. Postal services has a lot to offer. Like, let me give you one example. They need to address the issue of digital inclusion. There are villages that the internet is not reaching, and they could be a kind of hotspot or hot zone for internet for them. Then the issue of remittance, financial remittance. Now, mobile remittance is coming up in Nigeria right now, and there's need for the receiving agents. So, looking at the antecedent of postal services in Nigeria, they have that ethical value of keeping to their promise and the mission safety of letters and they're not intruding to your letter. So they can, we can actually have that confidence in them that when money goes through them, since they are almost everywhere, they can act as a receiving agent, a kind of agent, disposing agent.
So what does the future hold for the postal services?
Well, the future, if you look at the last, what do you call it, anniversary of NIPOS in Switzerland by Hussein. I mean, that's the general. He was saying that, well, they've come up with a report now. They saw the threat, and they say, okay, the only way we can come up is that we have to innovate. We have to change our business concept. We have to start doing things, not just sending letters, because that one has gone now. But now, like Nigeria is saying now, haulage or a kind of, moving bulk materials, then doing financial inclusion, and they have a lot to play in
I'm sure you have a lot to talk about, but we may have to push you into another program to discuss this further.
Okay,
Dr. Suraj Adekunle of the School of Communication, Lagos State University, I want to thank you so much indeed for your time and your thoughts. Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's Falconers trash Congo Democratic Republic to advance to the finals, qualifying round of the 2016 FIFA Women's World Cup. That's on Sports News.